Hi everyone, it's BURT and Suzy, and we're here to wish you a Merry Christmas. And we hope you get this video, but right at this point in time, we're not even sure it's going to be published. BURT hasn't been doing any videos lately because he's had shingles for it'll be 4 months tomorrow actually.
That's right, yeah.
And
Yes.
you haven't been feeling well, and
No.
and it's been kind of a struggle.
Uh-huh.
But you're doing well, but the good news of the whole thing is, throughout this whole thing, we've been ecstatically happy.
Very happy.
And a couple of nights ago, a miracle
and there
occurred.
is no suffering to what we've just mentioned, really. As a matter of fact, I've become a little more alive inside, because since this time we've had time to meditate, we've had time to exercise inside, etc., etc., and really get to know and love each other, and it kept increasing all the time, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, so, go on.
Well, a couple of nights ago, you went to bed and your shingles were bothering you particularly bad, and your pain was bothering you, and so you decided to pray to angels and ask them what was going on. And you woke me up at about 3 a.m. really excited about a message you'd received that you shared with me. And it was so beautiful that even though we may not be feeling healthy to do a video, I feel like it's important that everybody hear this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've been following this message too, and it has given me a whole new life. So it is made up of two ways of looking at life. And the one way is either through judgment, which we do all the time, and love. And we hardly ever choose love consciously. And our true nature is love. Now you might say, why is it love? Because we are all one. Truly. Everyone is your brother and sister. We are one big family. And this came very true to me during my hospital, experience many years ago.
When you had your last near-death experience.
That's right, yeah. And its truth kept on increasing all the time, getting more and more reality of it. So, so this is what came to me, that we can simplify our life by following two things. One is that we are judging all the time without realizing it. As a matter of fact, it happens so unconsciously that we're not even aware of it. And number two, to do no judging at all, but to love. To love whatever situation you happen to be in. And the moment you make that choice, really, truly, dedicatedly so, your life, things begin to change in ways that miracles will begin to happen in your life, like it has in ours.
Right.
Many miracles have happened, but I don't want to go into that because it will take too much time.
So what you just said, essentially you're actually judging this moment right now.
That's right.
As not good enough. And it's not good enough because I need to get a new object. I need my relationship to change. I need another person to do something differently. I need to have my fears appeased. So there's all this. This moment right now is just not good enough. That's what we're saying to the universe.
That's right, too. Really,
right. So we're basically saying, to God, sorry God, but this just doesn't cut it.
Yeah,
I have a plan, and my plan's going to work better, right? That's what we're doing all the time. And we're pulling ourselves out of that oneness.
Okay, but the choices also happen of what we think about whom we meet day to day. We're always judging good or bad, all the time, right or wrong, or whatever is in other words, okay? And this judgment brings tremendous suffering and pain. And we will go through it a little bit more as we talk. But the only choice we have is love. Because in truth, there is no separation between us. We are one being, truly. We hear about oneness all the time, but we think oneness is something we're going to achieve. No, we don't achieve oneness. Oneness is already the case. It is when we realize it that is the case that we transform by seeing ourselves in another, truly.
Yeah. So the Course says that we can't get back to this state of oneness, which sounds very, very much like a concept when we think we're a body in a world that's real. So the Course has us get our way back home through a scenario that seems to happen here in a world where we think of ourselves as a separate body.
Yes.
And that's where when we back off for just 1 second about being right over our brother, and then look at our brother with our heart, that moment of connection is an instantaneous reminder of this oneness and this connection to the divine.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So we don't have to study books. We don't have to read about non-duality. We don't have to know Advaita Vedanta. All we need to do is open our heart to our brother, and we get an instantaneous experience of oneness.
Yeah.
Right, an instantaneous.
I've read hundreds of books. I've studied so many things. I've gone through so many stages. But now I can tell you it's all very simple. It comes down to this choice. The choice between the judgment, which we're making every moment, and love. If you're making a judgment, you are not being loving. Because judgment is always between one thing and another, good or bad, right or wrong, etc., etc.
And it also pulls us out of this moment of
now. And it pulls us out of this moment, and we don't even realize it. And when we make a judgment, we believe that the judgment is correct.
Right. And this moment of now is the natural state.
Is the natural state of
emptiness, being. Which is the love.
That's right.
And we don't have to do anything.
We don't have to do anything. We just have to be who we are at the moment. Yeah. And this is also I learned since I've had the shingles, you see. I've had tremendous pain. It was excruciating at times, and I couldn't even sleep. And but I found that as I went and allowed it, and I went into the pain, rather than trying to overcome it and to stay with it and breathe into it, I found that, yes, I could still relax within it without it taking over. In other words, I went through the shingles, and I'm still going through it. Incidentally, I'm not healed, and the blindness. But now I don't worry about it. That now I'm not caught in it, and that is the difference. And so I live from this love, and I've learned a lot from you also how to live moment to moment, because you are so real and so beautiful.
I honestly feel like our life together is heaven.
Yes, it is. It is. And every moment is rich. I look at you as soon as I get up in the morning, and I feel great. Because I know you're going to be positive.
And now that we have this new technique of being devoted to the heart and trying to catch the mind is tricky.
And that's what it is. It is devoted to the. I like what you just said. Yeah, the two choices is really becoming devoted to the heart. The heart is love. Love every moment that you happen to be with, or who you happen to be with. You see, and by loving, seeing this sameness, is what alters everything in your life. Everything. From needs, from wants, from desires. What else?
That's it. Well, the mind is tricky. It's always trying to pull you out of this moment of now, this natural state.
That's right.
This emptiness, this love, the heart.
Yeah, and that's right, and the emptiness is love itself.
Right.
It's empty of worrying about this, concern about this, fighting this, choosing that.
Essentially, all your thoughts are saying to you, I would be happy if only I wasn't worried about this. If only I knew for sure that this was going to turn out, which obviously you don't know for sure anything's going to turn out. So you just sentenced yourself to unhappiness with your thought.
Exactly.
You need to challenge those thoughts and say, does this thought have the power to take my happiness away? And the answer is no, because happiness is the natural state.
Happiness is the natural state. Yes. And so this is what I've learned within the last few months, even more so than I did before, that I can be very happy, fulfilled, despite what is happening physically. And another thing, too, which is very interesting, is that we started exercising every afternoon.
That's right.
You know,
and dancing.
Dancing to music and all this.
And weights.
And using weights. And I find that I'm returning back to youth. You know.
And having a good time at the same time.
And having a good time at the same time, right? So the point is that no matter what is happening, you can still find love in it. And the moment you do, everything will start to change. You might say, now are you going to heal? Yes, I am going to. Yes, and who knows, I might even start to see again. But that's not the point. The point is that this moment, I am alive, and I'm choosing love. Every moment.
Beautiful.
Thank you, honey.
Absolutely beautiful.
You're beautiful.
Thank you. And we want to wish everybody Merry Christmas, and to really thank everyone who's been very generous and helpful to us in the last few weeks and in the last while that we've been going through this struggle.
Yeah.
And
people have been wonderful.
We're very grateful.
Really. Yeah.
So we hope you like this message. And do you have one last thing to say, sweetie, about this message that would make it easy for someone to apply right now in this moment?
Yes, it is very easy to apply. First of all you ever want is to be happy. And it doesn't matter what choices you make, despite it, you just want to be happy. Happiness is your true nature, because oneness is itself the truth. And the truth of oneness means love. We are all one. The moment you make that choice truly and sincerely and really mean it and start to live it, you'll begin to see changes you never dreamed possible. And no matter what seems to be happening, you're happy. You're fulfilled as a human being. And I guess we can leave it at that.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay.